welcome to Be the Change show. And today's guest is already the other side of my screen. Before you all join into the live, I could just say hi to her and then introduce much about her because it's a lot to know about her. Hi, Sarita Nair, how are you?
Hi, Jyoti. I'm doing okay under the circumstances of what's happening around the world, trying to cope up with all the news. But yes, doing okay. I'm grateful for that. And I hope all of you all who are joining in today are doing well and your families are doing well as well.
That's nice to hear the word okay also these days. You know, the word okay also means you're fine. That's the thing. So, yeah, Sarita Nair is performance and theoretic. What is the way I'm really not able to understand? But she says that it is a therapy through which she's going to do storytelling. She does storytelling, and she's a creator, theatre artist, Sally lover above all. She's a founder of Heritage Stories and Performing Arts. Now, before I enter the questions, Sarita, first of all, what is the therapy of storytelling? What is it? Do you do any therapy? What is it?
So, firstly, thank you for the introduction, Jyoti. So, it's therapeutic storytelling, and stories can heal. I believe stories have tremendous power to heal people, and through stories, it's therapeutic. So that's why it's called therapeutic storytelling. So I'm a certified therapeutic storyteller, and yeah, we do healing through stories as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So when we talk of the present situation, as you were telling the initial time of the show, that in the past 1 year, people have gone through a lot of things which they might have never seen in their life. So what was that one change which happened to you during this pandemic, especially the lockdown times? Of course, even now we are having on and off lockdowns. So what do you feel during this overall the pandemic situation?
So it's difficult to name one change. I'll talk about two major. One is that I have become more aware and mindful and grateful for small things, like going out in the sun, feeling the sand at the beach, feeling the grass under my feet. So nature is something that I took for granted, and I'm really missing that. The small joys of life. Another major change that happened to me is especially when it began last year during lockdown. So it was very new for all of us, and we were asked to stay at home, move out only with masks, which was a huge change, especially in Bombay. And I heard a lot of people talking about how it's so difficult. We have to sit at home. We are forced to be indoors. Our life has changed forever. And it made me think, is it really that bad? Because we are just indoors with our own loved ones. We are safe. There are people who are in worse situations. And it made me think of all those people in the past, in our history, who have voluntarily, given up a lot of things in their life. Comfortable homes, they have given up education for a larger cause. And I specifically thought about the independence of India. So it made me think that those people who left everything voluntarily for a larger cause, irrespective of the background, what is it that they have gone through? Was it that motivated them to do that, what they did? And is that situation really that bad? And that's how Itihas Ke Panno Se was born. So that was a major change that happened when lockdown began. So Itihas Ke Panno Se initiated, yes.
Yeah, today while we were having conversation before the show, Sarita, you were saying that you have studied something else, and you ended up taking up this. And how this happened? You were working in Reddy Labs in Hyderabad, and then you were working in different corporates. And what was that? And what did you initially started off, and then in your career, and how did you come into this thing of being a storyteller? It's a different thing completely. So how did this transformation happen?
So when if I look back in hindsight, I have always been someone who loved stories and performing arts. And I've taken part in a lot of theater activities in the college. So after I did my pharmaceutical management, I got placed at Hyderabad in Dr. Reddy's. I was working there in the marketing department. and I felt there was something missing, you know. And from there, I moved to Bangalore. I joined a medical communication company, and I felt, okay, I'm feeling a little better, something to do with communications. And when I moved back to Bombay, I started working with Sutherland Hennessy, which is an advertising firm, a part of
Okay.
Rediffusion. It's healthcare advertising. And here I had interactions with creative clients, and it was more fulfilling. So for me,
Okay.
communications, arts was always a part of my life. I took a break in advertising career when my daughter was born 12 years back. And it's during her growing up years that I started looking at stories and theater to communicate or to give messages, and which was very, instinct based. So when I came across events of bullying, I thought, okay, let's do stories and theater to try and give a message about it. And that's how my journey into storytelling and theater began. It began with children and working with stories and theater. Yeah.
That's wonderful because somebody who is into marketing and pharmaceuticals coming into this, it's a very different thing. But when it comes to women, especially, they like to be in this, what do you say, the comfort zone. They wear, they're getting very fancy job, very fancy salary, nice vacations, and they expect a lot of settlement when it comes to women, where the men would be the bread earner and the women would take, then how did you? It's like you are becoming an entrepreneur. Even storytelling is also an entrepreneur business because it involves a lot of people, it involves a lot of commitment, it involves a lot of time. So, how did this? Why did you take up this? And it's because I'm asking this question because many women want to do what they want, but they, take hold back, thinking, "Arey, no, it's okay. I'm in the comfort zone. Now let me leave all that." So, how did you have that guts or that feeling to come to this?
That's a very interesting question. I think women are very strong. And I feel that, what is settlement? What is, when we talk about women being settled, it's such a controversial term, So, so for me, personally, I have been brought up in a way where I've always been allowed to explore. So I've done that throughout my life. If something has called me, I have followed it. And of course, there are times when we all go through different phases as women. When we are working as single, when we are married, when we have children, they're all different phases. And in each phase, we discover a new person within us. Um, so I think it's all about looking within to find that strength, because I think each and every woman in this world has tremendous strength within. We need support of other women, people around us, to
That's true.
to just give us that belief that, okay, we are there with you no matter what. I think that's something that really helps. And otherwise, it's all within, and it's a matter of taking that one thing that happens in your life where you shift, and then that shift changes you forever. So it's about that. It's different for different women at different phases of life, and I think just
That's true.
hang on, and do what you believe in. Do what makes you feel good, irrespective of what others have an opinion about it. I think that's important.
That's wonderful. When it comes to when I was talking to you, we're talking about Itihas Ke Panno Se. Now, what is this complete show about? Is it a show or it's storytelling? How it is done and who does it? What was the idea and what was the flow of it? Can you talk about it?
Sure. Itihas Ke Panno Se is something very, very close to my heart. And how it began is, like I told you, when, about the lockdown that happened. And I thought that, what about these unsung heroes? Maybe it's time for us to re-listen and understand their stories so that we can get inspired and motivated by these stories. And I wanted to make these stories freely available. So I just picked up the phone and spoke to two of my dear friends, and people just came together. Someone gave me the name. Some of my friends said, we are there, storyteller friends, and you all know who you are. And they said, we are with you, so just start. And that's how we began the journey in August 2020. every Friday we go live at 7 p.m., where we
Mm-hmm.
have a storyteller, an artist. It could be a
Mm-hmm.
dancer. I've got theater practitioners, folk
Mm-hmm.
singers.
Mm-hmm.
Through their performance, through their act, they share the story of an unsung hero from any
Mm-hmm.
part of it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so this story is shared. Then we talk about it. We have pictures, we have research information. We've also had some of the family members join us
Mm-hmm.
on the show, from
Mm-hmm.
the unsung heroes. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
the format developed, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been going on now. We have around 30 episodes that we have done, and we hope to continue for as long as we can with all the support of all of you in the viewers.
So, very true, very true. This needs a lot of background work, and I really appreciate you, Sarita, because to create this and to make it possible is really difficult. Because I've seen a lot of people just starting it initially and then feeling it, no, I can't take it forward and leaving it. So when it comes to the thing of many women might have taken a break, like you were also saying that you took a break and you discovered yourself. But some people like you who had that support, or you had that zeal to do it, you have taken up. But many women back off thinking that they will be judged, and what happens if they don't succeed in what they are doing. And that's the reason many women who really want to come back after a 5-year break or 8-year break or even 10 years break, they don't want to do it, and then just subside what they want to do it and just go with the flow. So what do you want to say to all those women who want to restart their career, whatever they it might be, might not be only like storytelling or any other business or whatever. What do you want to tell to the women out there?
Well, I would like to tell all those women out there that you're unique as an individual. There is
Mm-hmm.
something very special about you that makes you
Mm-hmm.
happy, that you
Mm-hmm.
can, take ahead. So
Mm-hmm.
invest in that, find out what it
Mm-hmm.
is. And sometimes, we fail many a times. It's not like I have not tried anything else. And, it's not like I've succeeded at everything I've tried. So I've
Mm-hmm.
kept learning, I've kept trying to do something new, and somehow
Mm-hmm.
it all comes together. So just have
Mm-hmm.
faith in yourself. Whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is that interests you, whatever it is that you're good at, keep doing it. It may not show the result right now, but at some point it will. So I think the biggest message is don't give up. Don't give up on yourself, no matter what the situation. Be your own
That's true.
motivator.
So when it comes to storytelling, you'll be doing a lot of fiction and non-fiction stories. And what inspires you? Is it the fiction stories you talk, or it's the non-fiction stories? What kind of stories are you doing on your platform?
So, non-fiction or fiction with respect to stories, all kinds of stories. I love all kinds of stories. I
Mhm.
love fantasy. I love your imagination, and also stories which are narratives of personal lives. So, with
Mhm.
Itihas Ke Panno Se, they are real life stories of unsung
Mhm.
heroes.
Okay.
We have the stories of, say, for example, Velu Nachiyar is unsung hero from Tamil Nadu.
Mhm.
She's someone who used to ride horses and elephants and sword. She did sword fighting. She knew 7 languages.
Mhm.
It is believed that she fought with the British and won back her kingdom. She ruled over her kingdom for another 10 years, but we
I think
really
she
don't hear
got
about
cut.
it.
There is some disturbance. We'll wait for her. Um,
I'm here.
I think we lost her. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Can you hear
yeah, 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 yeah. I can hear you. Yeah,
me? Okay.
continue.
So I was talking about Velu Nachar, and
Correct.
she's a woman whom we hardly hear about in certain parts
Mhm.
of India.
Mhm.
She used to ride horses and elephants. She would do sword fighting. She knew 7 languages. She fought against the British and won back her kingdom. She raised an army of thousands of women. And it is believed that when she went to France for her heart treatment, she also influenced women in France to take part in the French Revolution. And this is way back in the 18th century, and we hardly
Century.
heard about
Mhm.
these stories. So those are
Mhm.
the kind of stories that we share. We have Khudiram Bose, we have Queen Abaka, we have Azizun Bai, a lot of such stories. So these are real life characters. Yeah.
That's wonderful, Sarita. So, suppose somebody wants to say, for example, people who are watching the show now or who will watch it after I broadcast it, somebody wants to, participate in your platform. How should they approach you? You know, they have their own stories, or if they have created some story and they want to, project it. How should one approach you?
So, if someone has a story, there are two ways they can do. For Itihas ke Panno se, it's just specifically about freedom fighters. If you have a story of an unsung hero you would like to share, you can write to me at maya.sarita@gmail.com. We
Mhm.
also do events around heritage stories. And,
Mhm.
we have a lot of conversations around urban heritage. So, if you feel there is a heritage story you have within your family, related to a monument, related to a place, related to something you have in your house, please feel free to write about it. We can definitely look at what we can do together about that as well.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. So, like taking it forward, how do you want to see your heritage stories or your itihas ke pannon se? How do you want to, reach out to maximum crowd so that everybody has a talkability about it?
See, so with Itihas ke Panno se, one of the reasons it is live and freely available on Facebook because a lot of storytellers put a lot of hard work into the stories. They write their stories, they create the format, and they are being very, very kind to share it openly and freely on the Itihas ke Panno se and HSPA page. Is because we want these stories to reach maximum people. We want it to be shared and told to children. We want adults to look at it. We've got some amazing feedback from people who have said that these stories really motivate them and inspire them during these times. If they have left something midway, they have looked at these characters and felt strong. So that's the motto, and I'm hoping that it reaches as many people through Facebook right now. For
Mhm.
HSPA, I'm hoping that once things are normal in the outside world, we do festivals where we can go live with people and talk about our heritage. A lot of things. Schools are also an area that we're looking at. So yes,
That's wonderful.
hopefully.
So, when it comes to storytelling specifically to the target audience of kids, now to grab their attention, it's very difficult rather than the adults because they have the power of listening. The kids do have, but they don't. You can't hold them for a long time. So, how is your format of storytelling? Is it more dramatized, or it is more lively, or it is more comical? How is it?
So for me personally, when I do storytelling with children, I have an initiative called Storm the Drama Club as well. So what I have done there is with children, like you said, it's a little difficult to keep the attention. But it's also not that difficult because once they're involved in the story, there's a lot of action, there's movement, there's voice modulation, and quirky characters, and there's always something that an element of interest. So one of the things I do is I do tend to perform myself. So I dress up and uh, I
That's
become a
one.
kid myself. So that's
That's
it's
one.
always been fun. Yeah.
So you were also saying that very interesting thing which nobody have told me till now is that you are a sari lover. How is that? That's very very interesting. The moment you told you sent me, I asked you what you want me to be written on the flyer. I asked you, and then you sent me status. I was like, what she's saying? It's unique. So how does fascination towards saris has come to you? Because very few women of this century are really liking saris. I mean, I'm just asking you.
Sure, there's a story behind that also. I have always
Okay.
loved sarees, but I never really
Uh-huh.
knew how to drape it. And
Okay.
my mother would really sweat it out trying to teach me to drape the sari. There are
Mhm.
times when, after my wedding, I would go for marriages and I would struggle to put the pleats. A lot of
Mhm.
my cousins and friends would know about it. But
Mhm.
I said, I have to wear it because I love the feeling,
Mhm.
of having draped a sari. And I
Mhm.
love handloom and cotton, but I could never do it. Um, Itihas ke Panno se. when it happened during the lockdown is when I rediscovered my love for saris, because I thought, okay, I want to wear saris. And the best part about just this much being visible is you can get away with, the
Yeah,
pleats not being off. And
that's
over the so that was what actually motivated to me to wear it, and now I can wear it perfectly. So
no,
it's just a
that
matter of
shows.
practice.
And that
And
shows, in all the way the pictures I have seen yours,
thank you
and
so
the
much.
way you're carrying it is really, really very, very beautiful. And I'm very happy that you're promoting that saris are something which you should be wearing often. So coming back to Itihas Ke Pannam say, so you're doing it very often with many people and also you. So when it comes to you, you select. How do you select somebody to be a part of storytelling? Is there some kind of parameters you look into it?
So that's a very difficult question for me, because Jyoti, most of my decisions are very instinct based, for storytelling. And also, I realize that there are just some people I know that have very strong connections to the roots. There are some
Mhm.
people who just connect with me. There are some people who have reached out, and we have calendars that we create. So as and when possible, I try and put people, who approach to tell the story. At
Mhm.
the same time, this I'm conscious about bringing in different kinds of formats in storytelling. So there is dance, like I said, there's theater, there are people who do it through poetry, who do it through song. So that's also something that people approach me with, and it just it just falls in place.
That's really, really interesting. So I'll be sharing all her links on. Actually, she's doing it on Facebook now. So I will put her Facebook stories link so that whenever you want, you can go and watch these curated stories of Itihas Ke Panose. And taking it forward, what kind of other thing you want to explore in your in your platform, Sarita?
So with HSPA, it is everything related to India, because there's so much in India. It's so vast a country. I have these conversations with dear friends, and we say one lifetime is not enough. So I'm looking at hopefully exploring India in through different lenses. Our heritage, be it the sari, the handloom, our food, our monuments, so much
Absolutely.
people.
There's so much. So there is Shakuntala. She's saying "Mera Desh Mahan." That's what she's doing actually, and
जी
that's
जी
nice. That's
शकुंतला,
nice.
हमारा
So
देश वाकई महान है.
that's the reason she's actually started her platform talking about the thing which we are forgetting, especially we only remember only on Independence Day or Republic Day about India being an Indian. Otherwise, we are most of the time Western, unfortunately. So, when it comes to kids, do you want to take it forward, this heritage thing, to kids also, or is going to be more on the adult content? How it's going to be?
So it's both children and adults, because I think it's incomplete. The circle is complete only when you have the child, the adult, the teacher. These three connect, and it is complete. So it's all three of them that you're hoping to reach through Itihas and HSP.
Okay, okay, that's wonderful. So before I end my session today, what do you want to say to all the women out there, especially during this pandemic times? There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of things, but still women have to be strong enough, sometimes even to support not only the family but also the men in the family. So, so what do you want to say? And also before you finish, after you finish, there's a question I'll be asking that also. So, why did you say about this?
So to the women out there, I would say it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel scared. Talk to someone you trust. Draw, paint, dance, sing, scream, whatever helps you, but let it out. Don't keep it within. And this is not only for the women, it's for the men as well. I think everyone is going through a very difficult time, and it's so important to express what you're feeling, whatever it is, and find people. If you feel you are not able to do it, to people you know, reach out for help to counselors, whoever you think can help you out of it. But express yourself and hang on. We're all in this together, and yes, so just hang on.
That's very true. So this is Pragan who is saying that we have stories for every occasion, every person, every festival, every moment. Stories can be associated to all. I think he's giving a thing about your platform. That's very nice. So that's it for today, and it was wonderful connecting with Sarita. I will give all the thing in the description, also in the comment section, so you can just go and just find more about Sarita's live shows, which she's doing Friday, which is exactly tomorrow. So people can join the show at is it 7 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes, it's on the HSPA Facebook page at 7 p.m. Do feel free to join in. Tomorrow we bring to you a story of an unsung hero from Odisha.
So that's very nice. So she'll also be giving me also a couple of what is coming up, so I can also share it so if somebody wants to listen to our show every Friday. I'll be putting the post that what is going to come up on coming Friday. So this, she's saying, it is about in Odisha. So we'll be knowing more every Friday. So that's very interesting. Thank you, Sarita, for joining in and sharing it. A lot of things which which is new for me as also, because I've been spoken to very less storytellers. I think out of 150 people which I've interviewed in the past, not even a year, I think 7 months. I think you are the second or the third person as a storyteller I have taken. So it's wonderful connecting with you, and it's interesting. And thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Jyoti, for having me here. It was such a pleasure to talk to you, and it doesn't feel like we're meeting for the first time at all. So it's my honor and pleasure to be here, and
Same
to you, your family, and to all of us who have joined in today. Stay safe. Please take care of yourself, and hang on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.